Welcome to Historical Highway, where we take you through ancient Egypt's enduring mysteries and marvels. Subscribe to join us on this journey as we uncover long-hidden secrets, written in stone across the ages. Ancient Egypt's architecture is iconic, and at the forefront stands the Great Pyramid of Giza, an enigma both in design and mystery. One notable curiosity is the flat summit of the Great Pyramid. Unlike other pyramids, which tend to retain a peak despite the removal of their casing stones, the Great Pyramid's apex is unmistakably leveled off. For centuries, people have theorized about this peculiar flat top. Was there once a massive gilded capstone shining atop it, stolen long ago? Or perhaps a more practical, plain stone pyramidion once capped it, gradually stripped away with time? Evidence from nearby structures indicates that pyramidions from this era were likely modest in size, perhaps standing a meter or two tall. Still, if Khufu's Great Pyramid had a modest capstone, why does it show more severe damage at the summit than other Egyptian pyramids? As we delve into the answers, we'll examine various accounts across history, analyzing clues left by visitors, scribes, and scholars who scaled this iconic monument. While some theories suggest a gradual deterioration over thousands of years, there may be more to the story than just time and weather. Ancient pharaohs, after all, often sought to assert their dominance by diminishing the monuments of their predecessors. Could another pharaoh have deliberately trimmed the Great Pyramid to reduce Khufu's legacy? And if so, why haven't other pyramids seen similar damage? Imagine standing atop the Great Pyramid. It's hard to conceive that this broad, flat platform came about accidentally. Rolling stones down from such a summit would have been a laborious task, requiring significant planning and, likely, some sort of equipment. So, what might have caused this significant damage at the top? An interesting note about the summit of the Great Pyramid. In some images, you might spot a wooden mast extending from the top. This mast was erected by astronomer David Gill in 1874. Likely as part of an effort to triangulate the pyramid's height. Though it once served an important purpose, the mast eventually broke, leading to a partial dismantling. As recently as 2019, it was reportedly removed after a troubled individual climbed the pyramid and caused damage. Events like these are few and far between, but they add another layer to the story of the Great Pyramid's altered summit. The summit's mystery remains largely overlooked in mainstream Egyptology. But by tracing historical records, we might piece together a timeline for this gradual destruction. Accounts from ancient writers such as Diodorus Siculus in the 1st century BCE and Pliny the Elder in the 1st century CE provide a glimpse of the pyramid's condition in antiquity. Both men observed and documented the flat top of the pyramid, describing its height and summit measurements. They provide some of the earliest records indicating that the pyramid's apex had already been leveled by their time. These early measurements align surprisingly well with what we know today. Diodorus described each side of the summit as 6 cubits in length, about 2.76 meters, while Pliny's observations suggest a platform perimeter of around 1.22 meters on each side. Averaging these, the pyramid's summit likely had a flat top of about 2 meters squared, hinting that it retained its shape consistently for many centuries. This suggests that whatever damage occurred likely took place long before these writers made their observations. Fast forward to the 12th century CE, when chronicler Abd al-Latif al-Baghdadi recorded his own measurements of the Great Pyramid. At this time, the casing stones were intact, and he estimated the summit length at 10 Turkish cubits, or roughly 5.78 meters. However, by the year 1395, French nobleman Anglure noted that workers had begun stripping away the Great Pyramid's casing stones for reuse, indicating a turning point in its physical decline. This began an era of quarrying, triggered by an earthquake in Cairo that damaged buildings throughout the city. Consequently, the pyramid became a source of ready-cut stone for rebuilding, leading to the large-scale removal of its exterior limestone casings. Tracking the pyramid's gradual transformation after this period becomes challenging. Without its smooth casing stones, the inner structure of the pyramid's steps became visible. By the 18th century, visitors began counting these steps, assuming they were counting accurately to the summit. Yet, due to inconsistencies in the stone layers, this method proved unreliable. Egyptologist Georges Goyon, who studied the pyramid's courses in 1978, noted that climbers often miscounted the layers. Variations in block heights often led people to count the same course twice, resulting in a wide range of inaccurate measurements. One of the most notable early records came from Nathaniel Davison in 1765. Davison meticulously measured the height of each step, providing some of the most accurate data available until Flinders Petrie's work over a century later. Although Davison's observations were imperfect, he did identify that certain courses near the summit were taller than the others, including a particularly large course at the top. This oversized course, which Davison called Course 206, provides an important benchmark when comparing historical accounts. Davison's records were corroborated in the 17th century by explorers who described the summit as consisting of about 6 oversized stones. Marco Grimani's 1540 account measured the top summit in long steps, and this was also the first to document an air channel opening at around the 100th course level. Fast forward to Napoleon Bonaparte's Egyptian expedition in 1798, where 3 men, Jacques Grobert, Edmé Jomard, and Jean Coutel, independently climbed and measured the Great Pyramid. Grobert counted 205 steps, while Jomard and Coutel measured 203 steps, with both noting a significant height loss. It's Jomard's 1799 observation that sheds light on the latest damage to the pyramid. He noted that the summit platform had widened, suggesting recent disturbances. His account mentions that some stones showed signs of removal, perhaps the final steps of destruction before the pyramid reached the condition we see today. Historical records indicate that this wasn't random vandalism, but rather an intentional act of destruction, one likely planned and executed with purpose. While the specific motives remain unknown, some theorize that guides or individuals looking to profit from the pyramid's height reduction might have removed the top layers to create a more expansive, tourist-friendly platform. The Great Pyramid's history underscores how individual actions can profoundly alter historical sites, transforming them from their original splendor. If this stone quarrying hadn't taken place, it's likely that Khufu's Great Pyramid would closely resemble the adjacent pyramid of Khafra. This gradual destruction of the Great Pyramid reminds us that the same human behaviors, profit-driven, sometimes reckless, have continued to impact historical landmarks even in modern times. As a closing thought, the Great Pyramid's lost summit may hold clues to its construction. Many researchers believe that the intact stones from Course 206 could yield valuable information, potentially unraveling mysteries about ancient construction techniques. But as history has shown, preserving these precious remnants for future discovery requires a deeper understanding of the significance of these ancient monuments. So, if you're as captivated by the mysteries of Egypt's past as we are, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Historical Highway. We're just beginning our journey into the heart of Egypt's enduring history, and there's so much more to uncover. Who knows what other secrets await within these ancient stones? Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.